Hey guys, Anders here, welcome back to another video. In today's video, it's the top 5 must-know things for new or old players to the game. I've narrowed this list down because these are the things that people either ask about the most, or these are the things that people don't know exist or maybe glance over quite a bit while playing the game. And all of these things will significantly improve your gameplay. All of these things are applicable on PC and console, so you don't have to worry about that. And let's just jump right into the video, I guess. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for hitting 44,000 subscribers. And without further ado, let's go over the first thing. Plus menu quick switching. A lot of people don't know you can do this. Right? And when I do that in my videos, they're like, how did you switch that fast? That's because I have a key binding setup, or controller binding setup for you console players that allows me to easily and quickly switch between any one of my attachments at any given time. For PC players, the key binding for your plus menu is, I believe, T by default, and that's kind of out of the way. You're gonna have to move your keyboard hand for that, and you gotta hit it, then you gotta hit the other thing. It's just terrible. So for PC players, I highly recommend coming in here, going into mouse and keyboard, edit key bindings, weapons and equipment, then scrolling down and finding your modify weapon attachment button. This will be, like I said, default bound to T. Unbind that and find a more comfortable and accessible button for you. For me, it's my mouse side button. That's what I prefer. You can do whatever you want. Now, past that, you have a comfortable bind for that, bringing up the plus menu. Now, how to use the plus menu effectively. Notice the numbers that correspond to the columns and rows and stuff. So 1 is your sights, 2 are your barrels, 3 are your underbarrels, and 4 is your ammo types. Say you're out of ammo and you need to either get ammo or switch to a different ammo type. This has saved me thousands and thousands of times while I play the game. I'm out of ammo. I need new ammo. Boom. I just switch. I have a different ammo type. Bonus tip for this section. A lot of people also don't know that every single ammo type that you see in the 4 row here, those share different ammo pools. So you actually don't ever need to run an ammo box in this game because you carry with you between 600 and 800 bullets most of the time, especially if you're playing McKay with an assault rifle or using an LMG. But yeah, you can use all the rounds. So just say you're holding the menu, you know, if you want to switch sights, hit 1, hit 2, hit 3, hit 4. And on a controller, these will be like, you know, X, Y, B, whatever it is. You can do the same thing on controller as well. Now, another thing that people really glance over is they never really get their movement down, and, you know, they're wondering like, oh my god, how the fuck is Anders, you know, flying through the air with a grapple hook and all this stuff, and, you know, I'm dying to people bunny hopping. Learning to move in this game is very, very essential, and there's one trick that people, I think, maybe don't know that well, and it's how to gain momentum while sliding. First and foremost, this can only be done in a straight line. You cannot touch your movement keys, meaning WASD or whatever stick controls movement on controller, while you're doing this in air. You can look around at freedom, right? And I'll demonstrate that right now. The thing you want to do is you want to run, you want to jump and then land sliding, right? And then you can chain a few jumps together. People call this bunny hopping, whatever you want. I'll demonstrate it right now. Did you notice when I landed, I gained a bunch of momentum? And the most important thing here, I can't stress enough, do not touch your movement keys. I'll demonstrate what happens if you touch your movement keys. You basically lose all your momentum. So I just come to a dead stop. While you're doing this, you have free look around. So, I mean, you can just, you know, 360 if you want while you're doing this. Yeah. You can use this to peek corners. I'll demonstrate that right now, obviously. Come flying around a corner. You can, you know, slide out from cover like that. But the most important use is definitely the momentum slide. This is how people are flying across your screen. Now, you can also do this. This is a McKay specific tip. You can also do this with a grapple hook. This is a little bit more advanced, but it's not that difficult. So the grapple hook, you don't want to grapple onto something, you know, mid-height level, like this pole here. Jump and then cut the grapple hook. Then you can land doing that. You can even land sliding with the grapple hook. I'll demonstrate that when the grapple hook comes back up. You cut the grapple hook, meaning you disable the grapple hook when it's grappling onto something, by hitting your crouch key. For me, it's control. For you, it'll be whatever it's bound to. I mean, I just went, what? That was probably 53 meters doing that. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 through 5 are all settings things. So a lot of people comment on my videos like, oh my god, Enders has no recoil. Like, oh my god, Enders has no recoil. Like, holy shit, he has no recoil. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Everyone relax, okay? Everybody relax. It's not cheating. It's not whatever you want to call it. It is a setting called ADS field of view. Let me turn that on. Let me turn this off for a second. This is what you're probably seeing, right? It looks a lot different, doesn't it? It looks like you have a ton more recoil, but you actually don't. It doesn't increase recoil when you turn ADS FOV on. It moves your sight farther away from you, so the same recoil appears to be less. Does that make sense? Turn this setting on if you do not like that jarring, kind of immersive gunplay feel. If you want your recoil to look like this, well, first of all, pull down, but second of all, turn ADS FOV on. This will help you shoot at range at farther distances, hit your shots a little easier, and it's just generally, I think, the superior setting to have on. Speaking of superior settings, let's talk about Q-spotting, crosshair projection, and damage numbers. So, a lot of people might not know this. At the beginning of the game, this was not a thing. You can now Q-spot people.
Enemy fire team sighted. On
so,
my position.
whatever key your mark is, or whatever button your mark key is on your controller, hit that and you can spot people now. They added that to the game. Now, settings you want to have on/off. Come over here to the general. Excuse me, crosshair. You're gonna want crosshair projection off. The reason being is crosshair projection kind of messes with the center of your screen a little bit and can be a little confusing. Make sure crosshair projection is turned off. And if you want to know how much damage you do to people, for instance, I shot that guy in the bottom middle of the screen. It says 22. I did 22 damage to that guy. If you want to see how much damage you do to people, come over here and go to hit indicator under crosshair. Find damage number visibility. You can make this as big or as small as you'd like, but it's a very useful thing for every player to know exactly how much health the enemy has after you dealt damage to them. And the final tip and trick in this video is uniform soldier aiming. Uniform soldier aiming is a very confusing topic, and it isn't explained very well. It's never been explained very well. It's different between all the Battlefield games. It's very confusing, and I'm here to sort of like set the record straight for you guys. A lot of people go into depth. It's like, oh my god, I did these measurements, and oh, you're supposed to use 0, or you're supposed to use 133, or you're supposed to use 178. Stop. Okay, stop. It's a sensitivity setting, correct? Okay. What matters is, how does it feel for you, right? How does it feel for you? Does it feel bad? Does it feel good? That's the question you want to have answered here. Now, personally, I use uniform soldier aiming. I turned it off. By default, as of update 4.2.0, this will be turned on. If you like uniform soldier aiming, but you still feel like, oh, you know, it doesn't really feel that great, there are 3 things you can do. You can leave it on, try 0, try 133, and try 178 for the coefficient. I'm not going to explain why. It's a lot of weird, strange math. But if you do not like 0, 133, or 178, I would recommend turning uniform soldier aiming off. I hope that helped. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, and I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. And yeah, I'll see you later.